up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. I've received so many requests to review the new Chantecaille Cosmos Collection. This is their drop for summer 2023, and that is exactly what I'm going to be doing in this video. I have both the bronzer and also the limited edition highlighter. I'm going to be doing a daylight application, some swatches, some comparisons, and per usual, letting you guys know if these are worth the hefty Chantecaille price tag. So if you want to hear all of my completely honest thoughts, then keep watching. All right, party people, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. The collection, where you can buy it, what is on my face today, all those details will be linked down below. I do use affiliate links, so shopping through those links does support my channel. And if you are new here, hello, my name is Sophia. Welcome to my channel. I am a complete luxury beauty addict and I upload videos every single week. So if you love makeup, if you love makeup reviews, you're in the right place. Definitely consider subscribing to my channel to join our fam. Now, what we're all here for, the Chantecaille Cosmos Collection. There's a couple of different pieces in this collection. This is Chantecaille's drop for summer 2023, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video. First off, we have a bronzer, we have a highlighter, which I will be reviewing for you guys today. And then there are also two lip cheeks, which are retailing for $52. What you all are telling me is that those two lip cheeks are re-promote shades, and they also were not available this week when I bought this collection. So I'm not gonna be reviewing those two shades, but I will be reviewing the bronzer and the highlighter. Now, first I'm gonna be doing the bronzer. We're gonna be doing a daylight application. Then I will do the highlighter. Then we will do comparisons. And then finally at the end, I will share my final thoughts and let you guys know if either of these is worth it. Timestamps will be down below if you guys want to skip ahead. Let's get into it. Starting off with the Real Bronze. This is a powder bronzer from Chantecaille. It does look like it is a baked gelée formula. This retails for $84. Looking at the Chantecaille website, this is described as a sophisticated, finely milled gel powder bronzer that gives the face a glow that recreates a real sun-kissed effect with a natural finish. The advanced gel powder formula uses pearl pigment technology to create a soft, aerated texture that kisses the skin with a buildable, beautiful glow, but never looks or feels like makeup. This is crafted in Italy. It says that there's no animal testing, no parabens. They are phthalate-free and also fragrance-free. Now, the biggest thing I want to call out and the biggest question that I am getting from you all is, how does this compare to the existing shade that Chantecaille has in their collection? They have the shades Sirena or Sirena, some will say, and also the shade Goa. Well, friends, this is the shade Sirena. This is the shade. It is exactly the same. This is basically it is a re-promote, essentially. They're just taking a very popular product that they already have in their collection and they're putting it in this limited edition packaging. Kind of like what they did with the blurring powder. Here I have the Flower Power collection one. I think that this one came out as a part of that Hummingbird collection that they did a couple years ago. Then they came out with it in the Flower Power. Then they might have added it to their permanent collection, but I'm pretty sure you can still get this finishing powder, and that's exactly what they are doing with this bronzer. So it's exactly the same. I'm still gonna be testing it out today because I actually don't have this bronzer, so I will share my thoughts. I wanna also quickly talk about the packaging. The packaging is very similar to, what we've gotten from other Chantecaille collections. For example, I have the Stingray one here. I think this was, I don't know, maybe in 2020, I think they released this collection. It's sort of plasticky. It has a slightly, I don't know, soft touch top to it. It's very shiny. I actually really like the back of it. I love how shiny and turquoise this is. It's a very happy color. And I'm guessing, there's really no information on the Chantecaille site as of me filming this today. But I'm guessing because this is called the Cosmos Collection, this is supposed to look, I don't know, maybe like a planet or a galaxy. I'm not really sure. I'm guessing this is sort of Earth-inspired, heavenly bodies-inspired. Chantecaille does do a lot of philanthropy efforts for nature and wildlife and all those types of things. So I'm guessing they're sort of tying it into that theme would be my guess. However, it doesn't say on the Chantecaille website that they are, donating to a specific cause with the purchase of any of the products in the collection. So comment down below, friends, if you've heard anything about that. It doesn't specifically say that on the Chantecaille website. And in case this wasn't clear, this is a limited edition compact. You can already purchase Sirena in sort of like a round red compact that is on the Chantecaille website. Here you are getting 8 grams of product, and in the original packaging, you get 11 grams of product. And the difference between the two is that this is $2 more. So you're kind of paying for the packaging here, friends. You're getting slightly less product and you're paying $2 more. So I just want to call that out in case it's important to you. Enough of all that, let's get this on my face. When I first opened this compact, I was surprised because it does look pretty light, but then when I was swatching it, it actually feels very pigmented. So I'm going to be going in with my Sonia G Buffer Keyaki brush, and you guys will see it does pick up a lot of product. So this doesn't seem like the kind of baked gelée formula that's very hard to pick up. And look, I even have already that blotch of product, but I'm very confident that it's gonna blend out seamlessly just based off what I've seen from touching and feeling the product. So let's get this on half of my face, and then you guys can kind of see the before and after. On the Chantecaille website, this is described as a golden bronze, but as I'm looking at it on my face, I actually don't think it looks as warm as I was expecting it to look. I am gonna do some comparisons for you guys in another section of this video, and I think that will help demonstrate what this is close to. I already have some thoughts on that for sure. All right, so this is what it looks like with no bronzer on this side of the face, and then maybe like 2 layers on this side of the face. It is very light. It's super subtle. And one of the things that I want to call out here, hopefully you can kind of tell a little bit easier on my forehead, it does give a really nice glow and some blurring action as well. It's very smooth. Take a look at my finger right there. See how it has that kind of airbrushed look to it? Let's get this on the other half of my face now so we can see the full effect. I like to take mine across just the bridge of the nose. I like to do a very natural looking bronzer, just kind of all around. All right, friends, so this is what the bronzer looks like when it's all over my face. I am not wearing any contour. I'm not wearing any blush. I will add some in just a second, but I want to show you the really pretty airbrush look it has. I was afraid that this was going to be too golden, maybe a little bit, you know, orange leaning for me, but I actually don't think that I'm getting that at all. I actually think that it is quite natural, and I like that sort of soft focus blurring effect. It almost looks like I have a filter over my face. So I'll get very close so you guys can see this in natural light. And that's that. Comment down below. Let me know how you think this tone looks on my skin tone. I do list in all of my videos my foundation shades. So if you guys are curious kind of where I fall on the foundation spectrum, that will all be linked down below. I am wearing the Chantecaille Future Skin, by the way, in the shade Alabaster. Now let's talk about the Real Glow Highlighter. This also retails for $84. I know, guys, the price is absolutely insane. This is in the color Stella. That's what it says on the box here. And it is described as a nude glow. It says a lightly shimmering highlighter that gives the skin a luminous warm glow. I'm not really expecting this to give me a warm glow. This looks like a very light champagne highlighter, very standard type of shade. This looks like it's gonna be most appropriate for fair skin tones, but we'll kind of take a look when we get it on the face. Now the packaging for this, once again, I love how shiny the backs of these are, and I really like this beautiful bright fun pop of pink. When I wake up in the morning and I do my makeup, I like these really fun bright colors. Compared to the Real Bronze, they are a little bit different. Obviously in color, the Real Bronze looks more, I don't know, like a planet or a galaxy to me. Maybe a really cool earth stone. Honestly, I have no idea. This one looks more like a semi-precious stone. This looks like something that would have been in like my sister's rock collection growing up, but they're both really pretty. So I just wanted to show you the quick difference between those. I looked on the Chantecaille website and I did ask around on Instagram, friends, and it doesn't seem like this is an existing product in the Chantecaille collection. I also tried to see if maybe this is like a re-promote from a previous year. None of you guys knew. I think that this is a new product, unlike the bronzer. So maybe if you already have the bronzer, this might be the thing that you want to pick up, but nonetheless, we're gonna get this on my face right now, and then afterwards we'll do some comparisons with both of the products. All right, I have my Wayne Goss airbrush right here. This looks like a very similar formula to the bronzer. It is a little bit more powdery, but similarly, it's kind of like that baked gelée type of formula. And look how much my brush picks up. This is not a hard to pick up product, which I think is good. I'm dusting a little bit off on my hand. Okay. This is very subtle. I actually think this is the perfect champagne tone for my skin tone. Somebody who is quite fair, because you see how it really just melts in with my skin. I have a neutral undertone, so I can go cool, I can go warm. I want to put a little bit on the ears as well. I like to highlight the ears. Ooh, let's get this on the other cheek right here. Hopefully that natural light is picking up the formula. It's not really a crazy color at all. There's no glitter. It's very smooth. It melts into the skin. It reminds me a little bit of the Chanel luminizers, and I will do a comparison with that in just a second. All right, friends, so there we go. I'm just gonna move my little cheekbone around so you all can see. Comment down below, let me know what you think of this. And also, I forgot to mention, and I know someone is going to ask, I have both of these products on my eyes today. So first I went in with the bronzer kind of like in the crease and all over the eye, and then I went in with this as just like my shimmer eyeshadow all over the lid, and I topped things off with the Chantecaille mascara. So I think that these look really pretty and natural on the eyes as well. It's comparison time. This is going to be one of the most important parts of this video, because this is where you get a real feel for the tone of these products and maybe how it compares to other things you may own, if it's gonna work for your undertone, your complexion, etc. So I'm gonna start off with the Real Bronze. I'm gonna swatch this on my arm, and then we're gonna go one by one through a lot of the bronzers that you all requested comparisons for. Right off the bat, you can tell this does have a touch of warmth. It's not completely neutral. And to demonstrate that, I am gonna swatch the Tom Ford bronzer in Terra right next to it, just to demonstrate. See how much more neutral this one is. This one from Chantecaille, you need to have a little bit of a desire to get that warmth on your face. If you have a very cool undertone, it might not be the right tone for you. One of the other reasons why I wanted to swatch this bronzer is because I'm pretty sure this is also a baked formula, and it gives that airbrushed effect that you get from a lot of other Tom Ford powder products. So if you're looking for something more neutral, this would probably be my #1 recommendation. Now, because this is kind of like a glowy and blurring bronzer, I also want to compare it up against the Wayne Goss. This is the other natural glowy bronzer that I really like to wear. Can you see in the light there how it has a little bit of a shift? I think that this one is even better if you want something that is a little bit more natural and maybe cool tone friendly, because it's got like that peachy undertone to it. The other bronzer that I think is very similar to this formulation and just the overall look it gives to the face are the Hourglass bronzers. So I have the Elephant palette right here. This is from their holiday collection this past year. It's fairly similar. Some of you guys in the comments recently were telling me that you really don't like this bronzer, you don't enjoy the tone, and maybe it is because see how it kind of has that warmth to it. It's a little bit warmer than the one from Chantecaille. If you sort of like that finish from the Chantecaille, you can buy the Hourglass bronzer in a bunch of different tones. They have more options than Chantecaille. Chantecaille only has Sirena and Goa, so you really don't get much from that. I also have here the Ambient Lighting Edit Volume 3. This is a much lighter bronzer, but it's not that far off. It's probably closer to the Wayne Goss. Because it's a baked gelée formula, I also thought of the Charlotte Tilbury Nude-gasm palette. There is a bronzer, well, there's a bronzer and a contour in here. Let's swatch the bronzer. I think this is gonna be, yeah, it's a completely different tone. I also think that these bronzers from Charlotte Tilbury, they're not as like blurring. They have that nice smooth formula, but they don't have as much glow and radiance to them. I don't have the other Charlotte Tilbury bronzers. I think I only have the one that is in these palettes, these sort of like instant face in a palettes. And I really don't think that the formula is similar at all. The shade is, it's a little bit similar. I think this is shade #4. Yeah, this is shade #4 that comes in that palette. So what is the most similar here? You know, I think the Tom Ford, the Wayne Goss, and the Hourglass are probably formulation-wise and finish-wise the most similar, but you're gonna get more options if you want something that's a little bit more neutral from those brands. I will link all these down below, by the way. We're not done, don't worry. I still have to compare the Hermes bronzer and a bunch of other ones. So this is the Hermes in the shade Atlas. This is a much airier formula, very different from the Chantecaille. You can just tell by me swatching it, it's very different. By the way, I just put out a bronzer ranking video with all the new bronzers, letting you guys know my thoughts. The Hermes one is included in that ranking, so I just wanted to mention that. I also want to swatch for you guys the Dior Forever highlighters. This is in the shade 03, which is the warmest of them all. And then I also have here the shade 04 Tan Bronze, and this is the one that is more neutral. Sorry, that swatch was not very good. These are much softer. They don't pick up as much pigment instantly as the Chantecaille. Next, I have the Gucci bronzer in the shade Fair. This is going to be different. I just know it because this has a very distinct peachy undertone. See how this is more neutral, has a little bit more of that peachiness to it, and then the Chantecaille is a toastier, warmer brown. I also have the Victoria Beckham matte bronzing brick. This is in the shade 02. Let's watch both of these here. These two are not super far off. Still think that the Chantecaille is much warmer. The Pat McGrath in Naked Desire. These are her new bronzers that I reviewed for you all, and this is the lightest shade. So much lighter, like way, way lighter. I like these because they're super natural. I also have Nude Honey that we can toss into the mix here. So we'll put that right there. Let's actually swatch this a little bit closer to the Chantecaille. It's not that far off, friends. Check that out. Ooh, it's not that far off. It's not that far off. When I'm looking at it closer here with the sun hitting my forearm, I can very clearly see that the Chantecaille has more of a luminous airbrush finish. So if you like that blurring effect, I would go for the Chantecaille. Fresh arm, I have just a couple more here for you all. This is the Guerlain Terracotta. This is in the shade 03 medium warm. Apparently this is their best-selling shade, and this is also the shade of that new limited edition one that they just released for spring with like the little bee and the flowers. See, this one is even warmer than the Chantecaille. NARS Talc-Free Bronzing Powder in the shade 00. This is the lightest shade. This has been my favorite bronzer recently. Yeah, both of the ones that I have here from NARS are going to be a lot cooler, and the formula is very different. It's very powdery. Once again, the ones that are similar were the ones that I swatched first in this video, but I just want to include these for, you know, color comparisons. So hopefully it'll help you guys figure out if it suits you. Like I said, the Laguna 00 and the Laguna 01 from NARS, they are more neutral. They're a little bit, you know, more natural if you have a cooler skin tone. Let's do the highlighter now. So I'm gonna swatch that here on my arm. Woo, it is really pretty. Like, look how shimmery and nice that is. The first two that I want to swatch for you are, first off, I have the blurring powder. I know that this is a powder, but they look so similar in the pan. So I do want to do a quick little swatcheroo just to show you guys. You know, these are luminous. They give that airbrush look, but it's definitely a powder. I also want to swatch for you all the highlighter that is in this Stingray palette. This is the one that is called Coral. I know there were two as a part of this collection, and this is the highlighter. It is, I was swatching these last night, darker than this one from the Cosmos collection. See how it has that kind of like corally shift to it, but the formula is exactly the same. So if you have this one, or maybe you have the one that came with the pink blush, it's a very similar formula. It really just depends on, like, do you want a slightly different tone of highlighter? I received a lot of requests to compare this highlighter with the now discontinued Chanel Rêve de Camellia highlighter, which I thought was an excellent idea. So let's put that here. Actually, you know what? Let's get even closer here, friends. The Camellia one is not as golden, so I can definitely see how much warmth this one has from Chantecaille when I compare it up against the Chanel. I really like the Chanel. It's one of the most natural ones that I have in my collection, but it has more of that cool pinky undertone Whereas I think the Chantecaille, you know what? It gives a very, very similar effect. It's just a little bit more golden. I also have here the Or Rose highlighter from Chanel from the holiday collection. I just know that this one is going to be, don't forget, this is the Chantecaille. This one is so much darker. So I just want to call that out. Fresh arms, so we aren't confused. Next, I have the Dior Backstage Face Palette, and let's do the champagne colored one from that collection. I have a feeling these are gonna be pretty similar. Yep, the tones are a little bit different, but if you have this, you know, it's very similar. This is also a baked gelée formula, and if you get this, you get a 4-in-1. The Dior Forever Luminizer in the shade 01 Nude Glow. This is just gonna be battle of the champagne highlighters now. So we have that one, and of course I also have Golden Glow, so let's add that one to the mix as well. They're all like same but different. The one from Chantecaille, like now that I see it swatched up against all of these, it actually does give a really nice warmth to the skin. Doing these comparisons is always so interesting for me because I'm even surprised half the time. And lastly, because I was looking for other baked gelée formulas, I have this NARS limited edition palette that I always talked about. This is O on the Beach, and I'm gonna swatch this shade right here. Yeah. Oh, actually, okay, hold on. Wow. Okay, this is the one that is the most similar, both in the finish and also in the color. So if you guys already have this, you know, it's negligible. Like, these are all fantastic highlighters. I think that the NARS is probably the most similar, and they did come out recently with another one of these palettes in a similar formula, but it's in a quad. I think it's blush and highlight together, and it's a really good formula. So if I can find that, I'll link it down below. All right, friends, are you still with me? It's time for my final thoughts. What do I think of these? Do I think they are worth it? Let's just kind of put the price off to the side, the comparisons off to the side, and let's even put like the packaging out of this. I just want to talk about the products themselves. I actually think that they are very lovely. I think that they perform beautifully. These are luxury formulas. I really like the way that baked gelée products, they often give that really pretty blurring veil, almost like a filter over your face. I really do enjoy that. I really like that from my Hourglass and Wayne Goss bronzers. And I feel like this bronzer right here is very similar to that. And same with the highlighter. If you have any other baked formulas, it's really going to be that same effect. And I think that they are both beautiful. I think they both work for my skin tone very well, as you saw from the comparisons. You know, I think that the highlighter, this does suit fair skin tones the most, I think, because it is so light compared to a lot of the ones that I already have. And then the bronzer, I think because this is fairly pigmented, this can work for sort of fair, maybe over to medium skin tones. It's not gonna work for deeper skin tones. I really wish they took the other bronzer that they had and also put that one in the limited edition packaging. It just doesn't really seem appropriate that there would only be one, to be honest, and I would like to see them expand their bronzer range in general because the formula is so good. Be warned, however, this is described as being a warm bronzer, and it is a warm bronzer. It's not going to be as neutral as like the Tom Ford or the Gucci or the Dior Forever 04, for example. You guys saw all those comparisons. So the formula I actually adore. I think it's really, really beautiful. Now, the packaging. I've said this before, friends, but I'm never really that impressed by the packaging from Chantecaille, given the super high price point. I like the fact that often their limited edition packaging, it's very colorful. They kind of put animals on a lot of things. Like I said, I like the colors and the shininess of that, but I do have to think back to my first impressions of Chantecaille when I ordered my very first product, which was this little Stingray blush and highlighter duo. I remember receiving this and thinking, this is very plasticky. I was thinking it was gonna be, you know, very weighty, very luxurious, kind of like the Victoria Beckham, because this is an $84 bronzer. I would expect to get something like this, and also maybe something that is refillable from Chantecaille, since they donate so much to conservation efforts and that kind of stuff. The patterns on the front, I don't hate them, but I don't love them. They're not my absolute favorite. Like when I look at these, they don't necessarily make my heart sing, but I do appreciate the fact that I got something cool and fun and limited edition. I think it's up to you. You know, as soon as you see these, does it kind of light you up? Does it make you excited to put them on your face? For me, it's like, it's just okay. I more so just like the fact that these are really fun, bright summertime colors. And you know what? Side note, my favorite packaging from Chantecaille is actually this one, the Flower Power collection. I don't even really like the finishing powder. I don't really like it. It's not really my favorite. I don't use a lot of finishing powders though. So I honestly just use this for sort of blending, but I keep this around because I like the packaging so much. But a lot of people hated this. They thought it looked so cheap and childish, but I love it. So it just goes to show you, you know, there's kind of something for everybody here. Overall, however, it is a little bit difficult for me to recommend these products, not only because the packaging is a little cheapy to me for the price, but also the price in general for the amount of product that you get and what you're getting, considering that there are so many other really nice luxury options out on the market, it's just hard for me to recommend it. I was doing some research last night in preparation for this video, and you know what? The Tom Ford bronzer is $70. The Hourglass bronzers are $58. The Wayne Goss bronzer is $45, and the Victoria Beckham bronzers are $60. And with that, you get a 2-in-1, much nicer packaging and a lot more products. So it's like I'm looking at all of these other bronzers and highlighters that I have in my collection, and I just think there are ones that have nicer packaging, have just as good of a formula, almost the same, and they're cheaper. It's just a much better deal. This is not a good value at all. I would pick up the bronzer if you already do not have this, and if you don't mind paying $84, if you don't have a lot of bronzers in your collection, if you don't have something that has a luminous finish, maybe you want to try something a little bit new, something that you have in your collection is more matte, and you don't mind the golden undertone, then definitely give this a try. If you don't already have Sirena and you really like this packaging, maybe the $84 is worth it to you. I've actually been meaning to try this bronzer, so it doesn't really make me mad that I paid the $84. I've been wanting to try it. I've just kind of been waiting for the right opportunity to pick this up. And I like the fact that I got the pretty packaging, but if you already have it, let me just kind of talk you out of it. Like, you really don't need to get this new packaging. It's not all that great. Now the highlighter, maybe this is more tempting to you because it's not a re-promote, but as you saw from the comparisons, it's kind of just like a lot of the other highlighters in my collection. It's not like we don't have champagne highlighters in our makeup drawer today. Once again, if you've been looking for something like this, then I think it's worth picking up. If you are super mesmerized by the packaging, then it's worth picking up. But it is, like, once again, friends, it's so hard for me to recommend these because I don't think the packaging is all that great. And that's kind of why there is this big price point. And then with the formula, which is beautiful, it's similar to a lot of other things on the market. So I think this collection is really only worth it if you are the kind of person that you like to have a little piece of different collections. You like to sort of collect these different limited edition packaging. If that is your thing, I totally understand if that is the case, because I can be like that as well. When Chanel or Dior comes out with something for summer or for holiday, I like to pick up a little something to be like, oh yeah, this was, you know, holiday 2022, something like that. And there's definitely no shame in that, but that's, you know, that's really who I recommend these for. People who kind of like to collect these, or people that don't have anything like this in their collection at all. So those are my thoughts, friends. Beautiful, stunning products. I enjoy them. I'm going to be using these all summer, I predict, but really only worth it if these are things that you really, really enjoy and see yourself using pretty frequently. But enough about what I think. I want to hear what you think. Sound off in those comments down below and let me know if you guys picked this up. Did I sway you in either direction? I know these Chantecaille collections, they can be a little bit controversial. So I want to know, do you like the packaging? Do you like the formula? Are you mad that the bronzer is a re-promote? Let's sound off in the comments down below and share all of our thoughts. If you like this video or if you found it helpful, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, friends, I hope you see some beauty in your day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.